because they believed it to be the Word of God, they took the greatest pains to make sure that this book would be preserved both in writing and in memory. But in the early days, memory was the most important manner in which the text was preserved. The Arabic text is a consonantal text, and if we rely on the writing alone, one may not know how to pronounce the text, and this has given rise to many variations in reading over time. Some of the variations which Sam tried to point out to me when he gave me the book of Arbery. I've already read Arbery, and I've seen that he points out minor variations, like instead of saying Maliki Yawmiddin, someone says Maliki Yawmiddin. One means owner of the day of judgment, the other one means king of the day of judgment. And to Muslims, one does not make any difference than the other. Both to Muslims are acceptable readings.
Most Muslims will say they don't make any difference, and they'll usually use this example. This is the one they always use in chapter 1, verse 4, where on the side Hafs here you have Maliki, the owner of the day, versus Maliki, which is the king. Well, it could be the only owner of the day, or it could be the king of the day of recompense. The king is the owner, so therefore there's no difference. On face value, I would agree, but that's not what we're finding in other ones. Here's another one in chapter 3, verse 146. You have Qatala on the left, and over here with Warsh, which is very popular in northern Africa, you have Qutila, were killed. So, and how many prophets fought versus and how many prophets were killed? Well, if I was a prophet, I would rather fight than be killed. So this would have a huge significance to me if I were one of them. Here you have another example, Surah 38, Ayah 45, where you have Ibadana, dagger aleph is added, and in this one there is no dagger aleph. It's the Abdana. Abdana, no dagger aleph. One is slaves, plural, the other is slave. And remember our slaves Ibrahim, Ishaq, and Yaqub. Well, obviously that should be a plural, so Hafs has it correct. Al-Bazi has slave, yet he's talking about owner, so you can see it doesn't even agree with the subject. So you can see that there is a grammatical error built into that. Surah 43, Ayah 19, you have Ibadu on the left, you have Ra, Inda on the right. One says slaves on the left, the other says in the presence. So, and they make the angels who are slaves of the beneficent, or according to Ra, it's, and they make angels who are in the presence of the beneficent females. Now, two problems. Are the angels slaves of Allah or simply in the presence of Allah? Number two, is it the slaves or those in Allah's presence who will be made females? If I were an angel, I would prefer being called in God's presence rather than his slave. And if I were an angel being a male, I would prefer if only the slaves were made females, were not made females, thank you. So can you see, this does have theological differences, and each one of these could be a theological a treatise right there. Sorry, a PhD thesis. You can unpack these, and we have found 93,000.